All right. I think we have to start to save time. So I had to stick around for others to catch up with us. All right. So we have like 11 persons on this call. Uh, so today is just going to be like a little introduction, right, to the little background of what you are going to do, right? So the last call was more of introduction about the bootcamp, and today is going to be an introduction about the whole framework which we are going to learn. And then I will try to, as much as I can, to make it very quick. All right. The main long class is going to be from, let me say, from next week when we start doing more of practicals. So for the meantime, I would like us, if you have Figma on your system, that will be very okay. But if you don't have, please try to download Figma. Okay. We are going to be using Figma for our wireframing. But don't worry, we are building live on WordPress. So, all right. So I'm still trying to see people that can join us. So this is 8:25, and I think we have to start. So please confirm if you can see my screen, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
just a second.
I can hear you, but I can't see the screen you are presenting.
I can hear you. I can see your screen.
Okay.
I can hear you. I can see your screen, sir.
Okay, wait to download Figma. Just check on the internet, figma.com. All right, just search download Figma for Windows, depending on what you're using. If you're using a Mac, you see the version for Mac. All right, so you can just search download Figma for Mac. So the reason is that Figma has the web version where we can use your browser to have access to it, but you have more benefits using the software itself. I think I'm having a little network issue. Don't know. All right, so we are going to understand how the web works. And basically, if you want to speak, please unmute and speak. I'm not on the call screen right now.
Okay.
I think I saw
Good evening.
someone's.
Can
Yes,
you
good
hear me,
evening.
please? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Our last interaction, you said if we were to download an app that we should turn off our antivirus. Does this apply to the Figma?
No, 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 no. Figma is not that heavy. All right. So the way the web works is, we all know that basically the computer is garbage in, garbage out. So that's almost more like the way the web works. But in terms of building, the web works in forms whereby it's based on codes, right? So programming languages is a way you use to interact with a computer. Like now we are using an English language to talk to each other, right? So now computer has its own language, which we use to interact. And this language, we have to learn it and master it. However, when it comes to building, the way the web works is that it works in bricks, which we are going to go in details, all right? So everything line into details into that, of course, but just understand that everything is in a box, inside the box, inside the box. So you can't just, like, if you're using Figma, you can just drag and put an image or a text, but when you're building, everything has to be inside the box, which we call divs and containers. All right. So let me not go into the whole stuff. So the concept of WordPress and page builders, like I said, I'm not going to like go much in terms of going around the bush. I'm just going to go straight into it. We are using WordPress to build our project. However, what you're going to learn is applicable to any framework. Like what I said, if you understand how to use page builders, you can use page builder to build a website, then any other page builder, even Framer, you can use Framer, you can use Webflow. They have the same structure. You get. So the concept of WordPress and page builders is actually that WordPress is an open source. You get. WordPress is a place that people come in to put in other things and then they build on it. All right. So in WordPress, we have plugins. People build inside WordPress, they build plugins on it, and those plugins are used to design different things. And then also WordPress is free. Okay, so that is why we're using WordPress, because it's free. And then page builders is that, let's say you want to build a website. Page builders are those. Please confirm you can see my screen. I left where I am. Just confirm what you're seeing on my screen right now, please.
Yes, sir. I can see the concept.
What is showing on my screen?
And page builders.
Okay. Thank you. You can mute. All right. So now, page builders are what enables you, the framework that enables you to build on the web. Let me put it that way. You get. So page builders are like, they are built with code. Do you understand? These things are built with codes, but then with the use of tools like widgets, they now make these things to be easier for us, which is why I now had to say the coding and no coding idea. Why no code, right? Because like I said in the first class, there has been like kind of, draggings about using code and using no code to build websites. But the thing is, these things work hand in hand. Without coding, you will never have no code, right? Everything in no code is as a result of coding, which we cannot see. Okay, like WordPress is built on PHP, so you can imagine that. So, but the thing is, why no code is that no code is very scalable. Like now, we now have vibe coding. We now have just using a prompt, you can bring things to life. It's very fast. Using no code is very fast. Okay, for example, you need to be an expert in coding of years of experience for you to build some projects fast. Do you get? But then if you're using no code, you don't really have to have years of experience. You can finish 3 projects in 1 month and get paid. You get? So the coding and no coding idea is that you need to know that first off, coding is still very, very applicable to what you are doing, but we are going to be using no code because it's very scalable, it's fast, and someone like me, I don't have the strength for coding. So not everybody has that strength for coding, okay? Which is why I'm going to now start with the coding. So before now, or even still now, right? If you want to develop a website, you're going to use some frameworks, which we have HTML as the first layer for your text, right? The hypertext markup language helps you to write the text of the website. Do you get? And then once you're done with that, you can now use CSS to style it. And then you now have other frameworks which you can now use to add animations. We have JavaScript, and then we have a whole lot of them. You get? We have Node.js, depending on what you want to do with your coding on your website. So this is how the website is being built. And then we now had the revolution of no code. So this is that you don't have to sit down to write these codes. All you have to do is you have to only have an idea, have a structure of how these things work, and then bring it to life. Then the area of vibe coding is we know it already. You just have to write the prompt, structure it very well, and then you get a result of it. Okay, so the revolution of no code is that we have different no code tools. We have WordPress, we have Framer, we have Webflow, we have Wix, we have Squarespace. There are a lot of them. These are like the major ones that you see in the market. Even Shopify is no code, though there are codes to get some things done. Okay, so these are the major coding tools which you're going to be using. So as of last year, no code page builder reached 2 billion valuation. So that means that the marketplace of Framer is a no code tool, which people sell templates, people buy templates there, people build on the platform. So they have made over $2 billion in their platform. All right. So that is to tell you the power of no code. People are really interested in it. Then we now have to understand how this no code works. So coming back to WordPress, WordPress is basically a CMS, a content management system. If you don't know, WordPress started as a blogging tool, which they normally use WordPress to only for blog posts, which is why till now WordPress is very, very good for SEO. So content management system is that you're able to manage the content that you put in on your website, right? For example, the blog post that we want to make a comment on the blog post, it is saved in the directory which was set. You get, so everything is structured in the database that makes it very easy to work, which is why we call it CMS. Okay, so why WordPress? So first off is that WordPress powers 31% of the websites on the internet, on the planet. So this is the graph. You can also check it out. I think it has even increased by now. So WordPress, even if you don't really know much about WordPress, you can bring out something of it. So we now have other languages which people use, and then WordPress is an open source, and then you can customize things the way you want. Okay, so we have themes, we have plugins, we even have templates. Early times we used to sell templates, even till now, right? There's some platform that sells templates. So number one, WordPress is free, you don't have to buy it, and then it is very user friendly. Like I said, that's why we're using WordPress. WordPress is very user friendly. You don't have to know. It's not really technical. That's just the summary of it, and then it's very SEO friendly. So search engine optimizations make your website to rank, okay? And then WordPress has these tools embedded in it. So now we are going to talk about websites and web apps. But before I continue, I would like to know if there is any question that you guys have so far. If you're following me, and let me just know before we go into websites and web apps. I'm listening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, I want to ask or find out if you have a compilation of this your slide or any material that we can follow through.
Yes. But are you not following through from what I'm sharing? Am I too fast or too slow?
It seems that fast too, and we cannot grasp everything at once. So
Okay, all right. Any other person? Though I have a meeting to jump on, right? That's why I'm trying to rush. All right. Any other question?
Yes, sir. Well, I guess I am following the class. Maybe he should speak for himself.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, all right. So let's proceed. These ones are like the basics, honestly. Okay. So the main work is when we now start doing wireframes, gathering inspiration, and then starting the main build. These ones are like that's why some people let the I know people that have left because they know that these are things that they know already. Okay. So these are like the basic things. So, but for those that are totally beginners, this will help them. You get, so people learn at different levels, like what he said. So I will just have to send this material to those that need it. Okay. So people learn, so there are some people that are like novice to all this stuff. You get, so I understand that. All right. So websites and web apps. So we can't build websites without understanding the differences and the concept of how this thing works. Okay. I should even ask the question here. All right. So is there anybody that can give us in very simple terms, the difference between these two, a website and a web app? Just one or two persons. Oh, Bellos. I'd say, I cannot hear you very clearly. Are you speaking?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I was connected. So I'd say web apps are majorly apps that are majorly platforms that you could access for web services, but they are actually um, converted into. I'm trying to look for the right word. For websites, you have to access them through um, um, platforms more like HTML, HTTPS, and all of those, maybe browsers and all of those. But for web apps, they are actually moved into a different package. I'm trying to remember the word, but I don't know if I'm trying to
Okay.
just get general so that everybody can follow. I'm trying to look for the right word, but it's not coming. But websites are generally platforms that you have to get access to with the whole HTML, with the whole HTTP and all of those platforms. So you have to go through a channel, which is a browser and all of those. But web apps is a little different.
All right. So, I created something to explain that websites is basically, before I even read what I even wrote, so let me explain something. Now, these two things are accessed through the web. Yes, you can access the web app using your browser, using your smartphone. You get. So the thing is that websites are basically for content sharing. So let's say I want to read about a company. Instead of me downloading their brochure, or instead of me wasting time trying to browse about them on different blogs, I go to their websites, I read about it. Okay, this is what they do, this is their services, and if I'm interested, I can message them. Their contact information is there. Basically, websites are basically static, though we now have other things running, interactions and the rest. So, but in web apps are much more interactive, whereby if I click on something, right, a web app has that ability to respond to me. Okay, for example, please give me a minute. Okay, sorry for that. So, for example, I was explaining web apps. For example, now you can trade on you can trade with a web app. You can do different things on a web app. For example, a healthcare web app, you can use it, put in an information, and then it will ask you some things. It will give you, there is that interaction on a web app. Okay, so that's one of the major differences is interaction. So let me now go to what I prepared. So websites primarily designed to represent information and content to users. Okay, they serve as digital storefronts, brochures, or informational hooks. For example, what you see on my screen is just more of you want to know about these projects. You don't have to stress much. You just see about what they have been doing, and then you read it and go your way, or you contact them. It has less of interaction. You can have things like contact us or maybe book an appointment, very less interactions. Okay, whereas web apps is designed for interaction and task completion. Yes, that's the word. For example, now the one you're seeing on my screen is what they call it is Binance. This Binance, this is an application for trading. You can access it with your mobile phone, just having your this thing. Then you just put in your login details, and then to verify. In fact, from the verification that's done to a web app, you can trade with it. So web apps are more complex. So I said example is what WhatsApp Business for web. So WhatsApp Business has the one for the phone, which is the application, Then the web app, which is what I even use, is the web.whatsapp.com, something like that. So now that one is, I still have access to WhatsApp using my browser, and then it has no interaction. Okay, so that is the major difference of web apps. So do we have any questions? So far, so good. Any questions?
Yes, good evening. I'd like to ask,
Okay, good evening.
yes, can a web app be incorporated into a website, or they are standalone?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so I'm asking, can a web app be incorporated into a website, or they usually stand alone?
Okay, it can be built into a website. It can be built. However, it will be linked. All right. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
understood. Yes, I can hear you. Understood.
Let me show you. Wait, let me show you an example. Let me show you an example. Let me show you a real life example. Where is my screen? There is a platform I want us to rebuild. Let me share itself. So many tabs. There is a platform I want us to redesign their landing page. Confirm when you can see my screen.
I can see your screen, sir.
All right, what you're seeing now, this is Renest, GPay. I think that's their name before now. This is their landing page. This landing page, this is like, I'll call it their website. Do you get? This is where you come, you read about what they do, global cards, you see. But immediately you now want to take an action, like you now want to register on the platform. Let me click on create account. First of all, notice the URL. Oh, it's not, I'm not sharing my full screen. The URL for now is, let me copy it and paste in the group. Just a minute. All right, so you can check the URL and access, so you can see what I'm talking about. That URL is URL would even change from renest.com to app.renest.com. That is an extension of the domain name. Do you understand? So that means that they have built the face verification and other things, KYC and the rest. That is done on the web app. But the websites, like we saw initially, like look at it here. The websites, like I'm showing you now, is where you give the details about your project. So is that clear? I know network is slow. Network has been terrible. Okay, so the web app has opened. Let me share it now. I hope you guys are following. Just let me know if you're not following, Sha. This is the web app. You get, so it's asking me, you see from here now there is interaction. It's asking me, how would you like to use Redest? So personal accounts, business accounts. Meanwhile, on the website, there was very less interaction. It was more of content about them. Am I making sense? So I hope that answered your question. So that's how it is linked. Most projects, because web apps takes time to develop. I mean, it takes time to develop. So web app, you're going to need a full team of developers based on your product shop. Like this fintech own, fintech is going to need good hands of experts to handle it. So it takes time. So while they are building it, they are going to have something to show to the public that this is what we are, this is what we do, and the rest of it. All right. So web apps are mostly linked to the websites. Okay. So any other question? Okay. So our next class is when we are going to start our, in fact, we've started our main practical. So now what you are going to do is, let me say the assignment now is that you're going to start now to check for inspiration about your project. Now, every one of us on this call is going to have a project. We are going to build, I'm going to build with you guys live, okay? I want us to rebuild, let me go to the landing page. I'm looking for a fintech platform for us to rebuild, or we can design our own from scratch, okay? So I was looking at the fintech, all this work can be done, all of this stuff can be done with WordPress. This is an image. So no, you get to know them as we proceed. The only hindrance is that most of the things you're going to need Elementor Pro to achieve it. Yes, but we're going to use the free version of Elementor to learn this in this cohort. But everything here can be done with WordPress. Definitely. So we're going to either build our own from scratch or we duplicate a platform. Okay. But for you, so that you're going to be practicing while you're learning, you're going to use this from now to the next class. Please use this time to come up with an idea that you want to build. Let's say you want to build a landing page for a fintech stuff like this one. This one is a landing page for a fintech stuff. I mean, so you can come up with something like this, all right? Or probably you want to do a landing page for an NGO, a brand, furniture brand, just anything that you want to do. Please, you need to use media, okay? And then install Figma and get it ready. Figma is going to help you to understand how wireframing works. You get everything that you're seeing here. Everything you're seeing here is as if it's just, it's straight, but no, there are things holding all of these elements one by one. And there is no better way to explain this thing than using wireframes. That is how I was taught. And that is the best. You need to understand wireframes before you can proceed. Okay? So get Figma ready, get your idea ready, start sourcing for ideas. And then the next class, we are now going to talk about how you can get inspiration for your idea. You get, so let me not give much assignments, just that two should be okay. All right? Get your Figma ready, get your ideas. You can have one or two ideas so that to review them. All right, so for a start, you don't have to go for complex stuff.
You don't have to go for complex stuff.
Don't come and do e-commerce. E-commerce is not bad.
E-commerce is not bad,
But you're going to look like page. The buttons will lead to WhatsApp. Something like this. Please mute your mic, or is it me? Let me show you an example. Your network is going to favor me. I don't know what's happening. Can you guys still hear me, please? Okay, you can speak Israel.
Loud and clear.
Okay. So I'm trying to show you guys an example of what I mean. Okay, let me show you this other one. I don't know, my network is bad. I'm trying to open 2 websites right now. Connect with. Okay, I'm having network challenges opening. Side. But please, you can unmute and speak. The class ends by 9. So the class will end by 9. It's only when we start doing building that we can stay till 10. Please, you can speak.
Okay, sir, please, I want to ask, does Figma has any requirements, like when you want to install Figma in your system, does it have any requirements like the RAM and the operating system you should use?
They have the version for every operating system. So the RAM size, I think from 2 gig RAM itself, Figma is not that heavy. Though it will consume your battery small, depending on what you're running on it. But Figma is not heavy. Figma is very lightweight. That's what they have in web version. You get, it's very lightweight. So it shouldn't be, it's not like installing Photoshop. Figma is much lighter. So just get Figma ready. Let me check if your sites will open. Okay, so that's the 2 assignments that we are going to, I'll be asking in the next class. All right, so in the absence of any other question, I think we are done for today's class, and we'll see on the next. Any other question? No. Thank you, guys. Bye.